Bro, now nigga get changed. Chop get blues on the mouth through the maze. Push star coupe on in the king. Standing there blocking up, serving the feed. Pie got not get to the blue cheese. Four got rocks up, serving the weed. I been out of town on the roads of my dreams. Four got a Glock with a scope and a beam. Nigga.
Then I asked him, like, you know, did I get accepted or whatever? And he was like, yes, definitely, you did great. And I became his first student. And then for the next 9 months, I trained every Sunday. I would drive up to Green Bay and train for like 3-4 hours at a time.
That's right.
And then I had my first match, and then I I did independent wrestling for 6 years, and then I just kept sending tapes to WWE, and finally after 6 years I got it. So that, from the time I started to the time that I got signed by WWE, felt like an absolute eternity.
And I definitely want to get to that, because when we hear these type of stories, right, and we hear people kind of going through the motions of what they want to do, and when they actually step foot into whatever they want to do, you kind of get a setback, or you kind of get discouraged, or you kind of get like, oh man, maybe do I even want to do this, you know, type of thing. Did you ever have through that time to where it was just like, man, I don't know if I'm actually built for this, or any times like that?
Right towards the very end, right? Like I said, I did this for about 6 years, and it was in like the 5th year that I started. You know, I was broke. I was borrowing from this person to pay this person, and it was rough. And I just remember thinking, man, I can't do this much longer. Something's got to give. And I almost, I hear that about actors a lot of times. Sometimes people will try really, really hard to break into film, and every audition they go out on, they're like desperate, and it comes off as desperate. And then one day they just say, fuck it, I'm done with this. I'll do one more audition. And they do that one audition, and they're just natural, and they get hired. And I sort of felt like I had done so many, like, we call them tryouts, but they were, you know, I'd get booked as an extra for WWE maybe once every 4 or 5 months. And then I would have, sometimes I would be there. It would be a Monday and Tuesday, Raw and SmackDown. Sometimes I wouldn't get used, and then other times I would be, you know, I'd be a cop on Monday Night Raw, and then I would do a dark match on SmackDown.
Okay.
So like I had all this experience, and I was there, and they kept seeing my face, and every time I came back, I was a little bigger, I was a little stronger, I was a little smoother.
Is that through the 6 year?
Yep.
Okay.
And I would be a little more polished, and you know, it started getting to the point where like I would come around, and there would be 6 extras to choose from, and the producers, the road agents at the time, like Arn Anderson and Dean Malenko and Fit Finley, would see me and go, we want that guy because we know he can deliver. And so I was doing it pretty regularly.
Did you my bad?
Nope.
Did you already kind of have a character around that time, or was it, what role did you play kind of like during that 6 year where it was like, okay, maybe I want to go this way, maybe I want to go this way?
That's a good question. It was relatively early on in my career that I heard Austin say the best characters are your personality with the volume turned all the way up. But I was still kind of struggling. I don't know what kind of character I want to do. I remember thinking that I would do a drill sergeant character for a while, because I found the drill sergeants in boot camp very funny, entertaining. They just said the craziest shit sometimes.
Yes, sir.
But I still wasn't sure. And I remember, this is a weird, kind of a funny story, but I had broken up with this girl. I dated her for like, you know, it wasn't a really lengthy time. It was like maybe a year we were together, right? I broke up with her, and one of one of my closest friends, I had heard through the grapevine like the next day, I was hanging out with her and trying to like worm his way in there, and I didn't want to be with this person, but like he was, you know, he fucking broke the bro code, you know, like
Right, straight up.
And so I remember I was at my wrestling buddy's house, and there were, one of my trainers was there, and like 3 or 4 other guys, and I called this dude, and I cussed him out, and I cut a promo on him up and down, and we were talking, and these guys are laughing, they're rolling on the floor laughing at the stuff that I was saying to him.